The US dollar, often hailed as the king of currencies, is a titan of economic power. But what if this almighty greenback finds itself at the brink of collapse? Imagine the ripple effects it would have, not just in Wall Street boardrooms, but in every corner of our everyday lives. How did it get to hold such sway? Picture this. Over 60% of the world's foreign reserves are held in US dollars, forming the backbone of global trade and finance. From giant oil deals in the Middle East to the latest tech gadgets being shipped out of Asia, the dollar is in the driver's seat. But here's the twist. This seemingly untouchable currency has vulnerabilities. Think about debt ceilings that skyrocket, inflation patterns that refuse to be tamed, and escalating geopolitical tensions that chip away at stability. Consider the economic juggernaut China, steadily pushing for its yuan's influence, potentially unsettling the dollar's throne. The collapse isn't just a distant theory, it's a looming question mark with consequences. Commodities would spike, international loans would spiral, and economies might teeter on chaos. So, when people whisper about the dollar's decline, they're really asking, what piece of the world as we know it comes crashing down with it? Thinking about the potential collapse of the US dollar can feel like staring into an abyss, full of unknowns yet profoundly impactful. Let's unpick this scenario because the implications are too significant to ignore. Around the world, countries maintain their own currency reserves, but the dollar is often the anchor. Now, if that anchor starts to slip, we're not just talking about a financial earthquake in the United States. We're talking about global tremors. Emerging markets might be the first to feel the sting. Imagine countries with debts in US dollars. Suddenly, every payment becomes a tighter squeeze. Their budgets would burst, potentially tipping economies into crisis mode. Meanwhile, trade imbalances could skyrocket. Those nations heavily reliant on dollar-denominated trade could find themselves grappling with sky-high prices, forcing them to rethink their economic strategies overnight. But let's zoom in closer. What happens to everyday people? Infrastructures could falter, and markets may freeze, triggering family businesses to crumble, lending rates to hike, and once incalculable savings to dwindle. Savers' confidence could tank, leading to a rush on banks and destabilized economies. The ripple effects might then exacerbate existing inequalities, pushing vulnerable populations into even deeper despair. While a complete collapse isn't inevitable, the mere hint of it is a stark reminder. The stronghold of the US dollar cannot be taken for granted, and the cost of its collapse would echo more than just in stock prices. Let's step into the realm of geopolitical chess for a moment. The ramifications of a dollar collapse could shift the balance of power dramatically. Economically strong nations, eager to exploit vulnerabilities, may see this turmoil as an opportunity to assert financial dominance. Think of China and its Belt and Road Initiative, methodically extending its influence across Asia and Africa, advocating for the yuan as a global contender. In essence, the world might bear witness to a power struggle as nations wrestle for the undisputed king of global currency. But there's another layer here. Consider the psychological impact. During times of instability, public sentiment can sway markets even faster than economic fundamentals. A lack of confidence in the dollar's stability could send investors scurrying to safer havens, gold, cryptocurrencies, or even the euros and yen. This shift wouldn't be just about finding stability, but seeking refuge from the chaos. Imagine a world where digital currencies become the new norm, reshaping everything from daily transactions to international monetary policy. Yet, amid the potential chaos and reshuffling of global alliances, there's a silver lining. This crisis might force countries to seek unprecedented cooperation, driving innovations in international economic policy, and perhaps birthing a more resilient global economic framework. It's this balance of threat and opportunity that frames the future of global finance. The question is not just about the dollar's future, but how adaptable and united the global community can become in the face of change. Pivoting from chaos to collaboration may sound like a hopeful dream, but history has shown us that innovation often sprouts from the soil of adversity. If the dollar were to falter, Technology could be the innovative savior the world desperately needs. Already, blockchain technology and decentralized finance hint at a future where global trade could bypass traditional currency frameworks. These tools could offer more transparency, reducing reliance on a single currency, and potentially leveling the playing field among nations. Visualize a world where financial transactions instantly cross borders without the friction of exchange rates, where your morning coffee could just as easily be bought with a digital coin as with cash. The implications on international commerce are vast, pushing us toward a more interconnected yet financially diverse global economy. But innovation in technology isn't the only byproduct of such a shift. This scenario could ignite a deeper dialogue on sustainability and fairness in economic systems. Global institutions like the IMF and World Bank could find themselves reevaluating their roles, perhaps championing new standards for equitable trade and development. The very idea of value would be redefined, from tangible dollars to a more diverse range of assets signifying prosperity. All these possibilities arise from one central question: can we reshape a world where economic stability isn't tied to a single nation's currency, but rather is a shared responsibility driving us towards collective prosperity? The stakes have never been higher, but neither has the potential for reinvention. As we draw together the threads of possibilities, challenges, and innovations, it's clear that the US dollar isn't just a piece of paper. It's a cornerstone of today's world order. While its potential collapse poses intricate risks, it also beckons an unprecedented era of reinvention and global collaboration. The path forward hinges on how we embrace change and shape a robust economic foundation that transcends borders, built not on any single currency, but on shared prosperity and trust. Now, if this glimpse into a shifting world sparked your thoughts as much as it did ours, it's time to dive deeper. Subscribe and hit that bell right now to stay ahead of the curve, ensuring you're always part of the conversation shaping our global future. Let's unlock the ideas that will build tomorrow, together.